everyone, I'm Karen Cravado, shoe designer, artist, and storyteller. And I was looking recently through some fine art, and I wanted to see if I could find some shoes or boots in paintings or sculpture, etc. And I came across these paintings here and a stained glass by artist Kehinde Wiley. You may know him as the painter of the Obama portrait. Now, what first struck me here was these African Americans transposed in the main character of what would be considered the colonial horse portraiture. Now, the artist himself, he says, he demands that we, the viewer, see and take seriously what heretofore had been considered marginal voices and when the peripheries become the center. And the center of my thoughts went straight to the Timberland boots. Now, when you look at the boots in his portraits, they are painted with exactitude, carefully, beautifully, sensually, actually rendered. And so when I was looking at them and how beautifully they were painted, it made me think, do I even know that much about Timberland boots? Beyond the 1990s popularity and how they were catapulted on the global stage due to hip hop artists of the time. And what I did find is that Timberland boots, they started in 1953, and the boot that you know now was born in 1973. And when you think about 1973 to the 1990s, you have to wonder, what was going on? Why did it take that long for the shoe to just hit a maximum critical mass popularity? So how did a boot that was originally designed for working class New Englanders become a fashion mainstay? Leave it to subculture. Subculture is what always challenges the fashion norms. So you're going to have a work boot that's then going to enter into mainstream fashion. So in my research, it started, yes, with the subculture and the drug dealers in certain boroughs of New York City where they latched on to the Timberland boot. And you have to ask, well, why this boot? Number one, these boots are not cheap. So maybe it's a status symbol, okay? And in a lot of economically depressed areas, the only folks who have, who are looking stylish tend to be criminals, drug dealers. So you can imagine also being a young person looking up to older people around you, and if they've got some flashy clothes, status symbol clothes that are looking cool, you're going to want to emulate that. But beyond that, though, there has to be a reason why something that is a work boot enters into fashion. Now, this work boot, I have never worn a pair of Timberlands to know for certain, but I can see them and I can read about them and understand that they are a weatherproof leather boot. Come on, how practical, utilitarian is that? It's rugged, it's tough. So if you're going to be on your feet all day long, if you're going to be going different terrains, different weather, this is like the boot for you. Now let's have celebrity cachet attached to the boot. So let's check out this very iconic portrait of the rapper Biggie. He's wearing those amazing Timberlands, that yellow leather. Definitely anybody who was into his music are definitely going to want to emulate him and get a pair. Then, of course, we have Tupac. We can check him out. And then also I wanted to make of note is that also women would wear Timberlands. It wasn't strictly a man thing. So this is another interesting aspect here. I want you to look at, we have Aaliyah, then we have Rihanna here, and then Alicia Keys. Now, what I find fascinating too, a lot of times with subculture footwear, is that it's unisex. Now, I have a video on Birkenstock. So when I think of these kind of iconic subculture shoes, they are often unisex. I think of Birkenstock. I even think of Dr. Martens. You would think if you had a consumer that helped to make your shoe a global sensation, that you would be behind them 100%. However, in the 1990s, the CEO of Timberland was asked some questions about his brand, and he actually said, now this has been disputed. I don't want to bring up something from the past that maybe has been essentially cleared up, but it is of note that it was in an article and in my research cited that the CEO, he did say that he did not intentionally market to the hip hop community, that he would rather focus his energies on his primary consumer, the hard-working Americans that built this country. Whoa, what a statement. So all controversy broke out after that because it's very controversial. It's very racist to basically say, yeah, okay, we didn't intentionally want or need or ask for Black youth to purchase our shoes. Yeah, we'll take the money, but that's not our consumer. Hello, who is your consumer? Can you say who will and how and cannot buy your shoes? And he was basically saying that the purchasing power of African Americans doesn't really matter that much to him. Now, that's my analysis of what he said. Apparently, this, like I said earlier, this was cleared up. You can go on their website and they even talk about how they're doing things in the community. So I think this has been another fascinating look into how, art. I just went from Kehinde Wiley to Timberlands to hip hop to a discourse on the status symbols, racism, classism, all from some Timberland boots. Shoes have got such a huge story to tell. So if you enjoyed this topic today, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon.